Political leaders are crisscrossing the country, trying to sway voters ahead of the local government polls on the 1st of November. Yesterday, parties pledged to ensure free and fair elections. They signed the IEC's Electoral Code of Conduct, but the EFF was conspicuous by its absence at the ceremony. Let's discuss all this with political analyst Sandile Swana. Thank you very much, Mr. Swana, for your time. Now, should South Africans be concerned at all about the EFF not showing or bringing a representative to that pledge signing ceremony?
In practical terms, there are no good reasons to be immediately concerned about this. As the IEC itself has said, anybody who has registered for the elections, registered their party and their candidates, has already in any case agreed to those terms and the code of conduct. However, on a general note, we need to, the political parties themselves and also the EFF need to continually show that they believe in the credibility and independence of the IEC and not even for a moment confuse any conflict that they may have, for instance, with the ruling party or any other political party, and conflate that and implicate the IEC in such conflicts and competitions.
So is there anything, for instance, the DA's leader, John Steenhuisen, saying that there are some political parties who seem to be above the law and, code of conduct of the IEC, saying outside to the media that he felt that the EFF was getting away essentially with murder. So you saying that there is no concern for that means that the DA was just jumping the gun then?
Yeah, let's say exaggerating. Let's say the DA was exaggerating the issue, but I'm sure in due course we will hear why the EFF did not go there. But in terms of the legal implications, the EFF is equally bound as any other political party by the code of conduct of the IEC and these elections in particular.
All right, so is there anything that the IEC needs to do in terms of the fact that, like you said, they needed to at least publicly show the people of South Africa that they do trust in the independence of the IEC, and perhaps not showing up means that they don't trust it. So is there anything that the IEC needs to do with regards to what happened yesterday?
Well, I would expect that at some point or the other, the EFF will explain itself, or the IEC will invite them to explain why they didn't pitch up. I think for the sake of the nation and the sake of the continuing credibility of the process, we need to know the EFF is the third largest party in the country by far. So the EFF cannot play games that need to be ignored. They are a very large party in South Africa today. So they need to show credibility of the elections, that they respect the elections.
Now, of course, just your reaction in terms of people saying that South Africa moving to lockdown level 1 is just so political parties can campaign without being afraid of the lockdown regulations had we been at a higher level of the lockdown. What do you say as a political analyst? I mean, it is an election period, and usually the gloves do come off during this time.
I think we can take it from another angle as well. There's a very good number of business people, in fact, I think the overwhelming majority, various sectors, who have been calling for a complete dissolution of this lockdown and this state of disaster, because it is destroying lives, it is destroying our education, it is destroying a lot of things. We can look at this election as something that affects the political industry, if you want to call it that. And since the power is in their hands, I think it makes sense for them to give themselves more freeway or a leeway to conduct their business better than most. So yes, there is a political connotation to this, but that political connotation goes very well with what the overwhelming number of industrial sectors have been demanding all along. Not only demanding a relaxation of these regulations, but actually a total removal of the state of disaster.
Now, Mr. Swana, elections in South Africa have been quite interesting in the past few years. This year in particular, a lot of people saying that independent candidates could surprise us. What do you think about the independent candidates? I don't see them, campaigning much, or maybe they don't need to because the communities that they are from are the ones who know them.
The last point in your comment is the most relevant. Because campaigning becomes very expensive when you are taking chances, when you are unknown and you are trying to make yourself known. But if you are a known quantity, a person of credibility and integrity in your own community, then you don't need billions and billions of rands to campaign. People know you, you are well placed, and they may not have the posters and other things that other people have, but they might just as well win the elections. And we've seen in previous elections, independent candidates beating the big political parties lights out.